Yeah, I've said a whole bunch of stuff and been on mute. Um, Appreciate that, bro. What I was saying is that this UFC 312 card is rough, dog. It's real rough. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if it's because that they're paying more attention to regional overall star power, but it's a rough ass card, man. It's a real rough card, real rough. I don't know. I wouldn't pay $80 for this, but I probably will though. I actually pay for the cards. Like sometimes an idiot, but like the thing is, like I pay for the cards because um a lot of times, we're watching it, especially if there's a right. Um like I pay for the cards because I don't want to get into a situation, especially if it's a streaming situation where, we're doing a live stream or something like that, and it's a real important moment of the card, and then the stream cuts out. Like I don't trust. I've had way too many rough experiences where a situation like that happens. It's super annoying, and I'd rather just pay the money than to have that issue. But for this one, like I'm super hesitant to do that. Super hesitant. I don't. It's cards like this where I'm like I don't want to live stream at all. I have no interest in live streaming it. But I would rather live stream the card that's coming up Saturday than this one. Even though there's no championship fights on it, um, just holistically, I just feel like the card is better. Yeah, no, you're right, man. The whole system that we have, it exploits us, man. It really does. It really does. I know over. I don't know if it's this way for you, Jordan, but um, yeah, y'all pay a subscription. Okay, yeah, I don't. I wish it was like that. They only charge for 5 pay-per-views a year, and the rest are free. See, no, man. No, I think somebody did a study, and they were like, it costs like $3,000 to be a UFC fan, which is insane. It's insane. It's crazy, man. There's got to be something that we're gonna get for free. Some, I mean, well, what we do get for free is bullshit. Really, it's the Ultimate Fighter, and that's really not even free because you still have to have an ESPN Plus membership or be subscribed to ESPN on cable, and they're going to change that soon too because the ESPN is about to, or they're talking about having their own individual network. So, dude, they don't give a damn about us. They really don't. Matter of fact, let me look at this card. That's the free one. Man, if the NFL, well, to a certain extent, the NFL already kind of does it. So the NFL, they have deals with ESPN for Monday Night Football. Um, Thursday Night Football is on Prime. Um, Later in the season, they do Saturdays, but normally on Sunday you got Fox, you got CBS, as well. So you got football spread out amongst all those different networks. And so if you're trying to watch a particular game, like you got to make sure that you have that network. And if you have a certain cable package, then yeah, you can. But like nobody really wants to have cable, and it almost and the NFL kind of recognizes that, so they've started to push things onto either YouTube TV or Paramount, which you can get a subscription for that. Like they're trying to stay away ahead of the curve, but it makes us super spread out as fans. And I'm curious if the UFC is going to do the same thing, or if they're going to just go all in on Netflix or stay with ESPN for whatever reason. Which I don't know, man. I really hope they go to Netflix. I really do. I don't know how it's going to work from pay per view, but I would hope that it's cheaper and it's more inclusive. But I feel like the ESPN thing was a stepping stone, and I feel like they need to move on. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. They're supposed to figure it out this year, I would think. He said that's like yours. TNT and Sky Sports share the games, leagues, and competitions across the weekends. That's got to be annoying because I know I get the advertisements for like the Champions League on certain channels. I'm trying to remember what channel it is because I do get that channel. Um, because I'll watch a match depending on who it is. Like I'm not super ingrained in it. I'm not even ingrained in it enough to even have a conversation about it. But um, I'll watch if I know particular players. But it's only Champions League because I know how to get to it. Everything else, like I don't know. I have no idea how to get to any of these things. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. I don't know if streaming has messed stuff up or made it better. I I don't really know. Man, I saw a comment on Twitter. I think it was Twitter. Somebody said that UFC 313, the one that I believe that let me get to it. Dang, what the fuck? Oh, there it is. I heard that this card was bad too, but I haven't looked at it. Let me see. So we got Alex Pajeda against Magomed Ankalaev. That's solid. Anybody that's watched anything on my channel knows I've been waiting for this one to happen. Um, Gaethje and Hooker. That's easy. You already know that's going to be a certified banger, as Sterling would say. Um, Silva against Van seems a little high on the card, but I guess it depends. He said it'll be interesting to see what they do with ESPN deal and then back in business though. Even though the fight night in London is better, yeah, yeah. No, I agree, man. I don't know what they're gonna do, and I don't know if it's all money based because I know that the original deal was um for was it for 400 million, 500 million? Like it's got to be in the billions for sure. So I don't know. I don't know if it's money based, but I think it's more creative control because I think the ESPN was kind of pushing um, the UFC to do certain things that they didn't necessarily want to do. So yeah, dude, the Hooker and Gaethje fight could have been a fight night headliner. I mean, in theory, it could have headlined its own card, but obviously, I know they want to always do championship fights to headline pay per views, but that fight is guaranteed. It's almost no, it is guaranteed. It's guaranteed to be explosive and probably end in a finish. I don't see how that fight doesn't end in a finish. Um, the Bruno Silva Joshua Van one, it could be exciting. It could be exciting. Joshua Van is a good fighter, and he's always going forward. I'm curious if he's going to add more kicks to it or whatnot, but that could be a good fight. Lamoche against Lucindo. Lucindo's last fight was boring, even though I'm a big fan of hers. And Lamoche, she's got big power. So, but that we all know how we feel about some of these women fights that aren't as action packed as maybe we're looking for or whatnot. But we'll see. Santos, I think that'll be good. But if that's where we're at in the card, like I don't know. This card's still coming together, but dude, that can't be that can't be that high on the card, can it? Alex Morono against Carlos Leal? No, can't be that high. Like there's nothing outside of those first four. There's nothing that's really getting me going, man. So yeah, maybe this one's better than 312. I think I think it's better than 312. But they still got some room to add some more fights on this one. Let me see. It's got one, two, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, you know, they could add two to four at most. So they got some room to build it up. But I'm looking at it and it's not. Yeah, this ain't it either. Yeah, this is rough. This is a rough one. I don't know, man. I'm not sure what the matchmakers are doing on this. You think 5 more fights? That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of fights. I don't know. I am not sure. What do you think about this Brandon Royval against Manel Cop fight? Yeah, I do think Patty. Well, he should be lined up for 314. Should be. This Brandon Royval against Manel Cop fight is interesting to me because Brandon Royval is the number one contender, but the division is all kind of weird because Pantoja has kind of cleaned it out. But it's almost like what benefit, what does it benefit Brandon Royval to beat Manel Cop? Does that really help his resume? I mean, I, I don't know. I don't know if that really helps. Yeah, I mean, I think that Royval's going to make Manel Cop show up. I think it'll be good, but I'm just curious if it really helps his. I guess he's in a sense trying to make himself undeniable. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like I feel like I would have done a little bit more to be in social media asking for a fight, even though I know he, you know, he's got a couple of losses to him, but one could argue that he was starting to win that fight in their last one, and that would be the narrative that I would be spinning out there. That's what I would be saying to everybody. Cop is hungry, and for him, like it makes total sense. You beat Brandon Royval, you fight for a belt because you're new. Um, so that totally makes sense. New, kinda, mostly, but yeah, you're new. Um, Not in recent time has Pantoja beat him, so that makes total sense for him. For Royval, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. But dude, they got to do some work on this card. I know that Cody Brundage can't be the next fight. Now, I know it's not in order, and then Steve Ursig ain't on the card. He's supposed to be fighting Brandon Moreno. We talked about that in the chat. So, dude, this card is struggling. That's going to be a scrap, but that's a deep cut. That card is a struggle. Um, all right, this is the Seattle card. Now, the Seattle card should be good. Who else is there to challenge? There's very few people to challenge for Pantoja. Like and I made a video about that. The fact that the flyweights had a problem. And I made this before um, Pantoja's last fight. That he's cleaned out the division and nobody seems to be talking about it. Like he routinely gets disrespected when it comes to pound for pound, and just the greatness that he had. Now, it doesn't help that he has a call out that's not going to, that's going to fall through. Like Demetrius Johnson, he's not coming out to fight him at all. But I mean, it's kind of it kind of sucks. All right, so let me look at this card. So we got Cejudo against Song, Brendan Allen against Fluffy, which that should be good. I think Fluffy should take care of business on that. I never thought that Brendan Allen was exceptional. I thought that he was decent everywhere, but I didn't think that he was exceptional. What's up, JPL? Um, yeah, no, I agree that Song Yadong is um in for a. This is a nice fight for him. I wish Henry was ranked higher for him, but I feel like Song should really get him out of there. I never felt that Henry Cejudo was good at bantamweight. I felt like he had good matchups on his way to getting the belt. Like he just, I won't call it luck because he had to go in there and do it, but um, they were just matchups that suited him. I think that he's too small for the division. If Fluffy is all in, yeah, dude. Um, Fluffy is. I mean, and Frankie tells me this all the time. Like Fluffy is a dark horse in the division. If he can get you to fighting the way that he fights, you can't beat him like that. You just can't. It's kind of similar to Marab in a different way. Like if you get into anything that's a grapple heavy match with Anthony Hernandez, it's going to be very difficult for you to fight or for you to win. And add in Anthony Hernandez's initial martial art was not anything grappling related. He's originally a kickboxer. And he hasn't even really shown that. So there's there's a sneakiness to Anthony Hernandez that I think should start to come out after he beats Brendan Allen and gets a shot at somebody closer to the top five. He's going to be a major problem. A major problem. Now, this fight, I didn't understand this fight. Um, I thought that John Silva was going to fight somebody like ranked. Not to say that this dude is not good. Armin's cousin. I don't think that that dude's not good, but he's not. He's not in his league. He's not in John Silva's league. Silva should run right through that dude. If he doesn't, then I'm all for hearing people talking about fraud checked. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think there's any fraud in John Silva. Um, he should run right through this dude, and I don't think that I'll need to even learn how to say his last name. Rob Font should retire Dominic Cruz. I know he said he was going to retire anyway, but let's just get that done. Kuniev is somebody that people don't know about. And he's actually pretty good. So this is actually a pretty good test. And for the fact that they gave him Curtis Blades and he's unranked, like that lets you know right there that dude's good. Now this fight right here is going to be amazing. Steve Garcia, I don't know what it is, man. It almost feels like Steve Garcia is like a creative player who has a lot of things maxed out, but the appearance don't match the abilities. That dude is really good, and Edson Barboza, his striking is some of the best striking that we've ever seen in the UFC. So that fight is for sure going to be good. And the fact that Edson's a underdog, like that's interesting. That's interesting. Keep that in mind. Ion Kutilabra against Ebo Aslan, he's gonna knock that dude out. Um, Adam Fujit, I don't, I don't know about this fight. I'm gonna have to think about that because Adam looked good the last time I saw him, but I don't know. Caitlin Vieira let me down. I don't know. Macy is from Dallas, so I'm a ride with Macy. But Caitlin let me down, man. I thought that she was going to show a little bit more against Triple H, but she didn't do it. Didn't do it. Ricky Simone against Javid Basharat. That's gonna be a good fight. Trockley pulled out. I can't remember who's replacing him. But it doesn't matter who's replacing him. He's probably gonna be favored heavily. I mean, that's just Bukowskis. I can't believe that this dude is opening the card. They gotta. This can't be the order. They gotta flip this. There's no way. Um, Modestus should win that fight. You said you haven't seen the card fully. It looks like yeah, no, it looks like a pretty solid card, man. A pretty solid card. They haven't been to Seattle in quite some time, so I think this is a really good card to introduce themselves back to the area. Seattle, man, Seattle is man. What's up, Leroy? Seattle is a rough place, dude. It's a rough place. Um, so CJ went to was it Seattle? I think so. I think it was that area or whatever for work or whatnot. And she said that there were people on the streets like they look like zombies, like because of the fentanyl and all that. Like, and we've been to Seattle before on vacation just to go hiking and stuff like that. And it wasn't like that, but we also didn't stay in the city. But yeah, it's a rough place. So they need something. Um, you said Simone against Basharat would be good. It would be good. There's no way that I take that back. I ain't gonna say no way. It could be a WrestleFest if Simone wants to do it that way. Um, the UFC website sucks. So visually, it's okay. But if you're coming here to look at odds, like I ignore all these odds, unless if I'm looking like at like who's the favorite, who's the underdog, I'll look at it for that because they're normally pretty close when it comes to that. But if I'm looking at like actual odds, or if I look to get more information, like they don't give you that. Like what they should do is give you information about like what has this person done in their last 5 fights, um, things like that, where they're from, yada yada yada. Which they give United States, but United the United States is a big place. I need more information. I need more info. Um, Tapology is cool. Let me see. You said ain't no way I hike. I mean, I don't hike as much as I used to, but yeah. I mean, we got the shoes and everything, bro. We hike. I didn't hike as much before me and CJ got together. I thought that was white people activities, but yeah. Dude, I mean, I know you hike. I've seen all the land that you have in front of your house. Like you got to hike just to get to the car. Let me see here. Okay, so we have a problem there. Ads. Anyway, yeah, I mean, here you get a little bit more information. I'll definitely say that for sure. Um, it tells you where to watch it and yada yada yada. I do like that. And then this right here, where it can expand and give you this. But what is missing, I still want the last 5. I need the last 5. Give me that. Dude, JP, you going to Norway? You're hiking in Norway? That's what's up. So do you research your hikes? Like Jordan, do you hike too? Like do y'all research y'all's hikes before y'all go hike? Like um I've seen or I've heard of instances where people didn't do proper research and they end up hiking into some areas they don't need to, and they have encounters with wildlife that they weren't prepared for. Like do y'all research it beforehand? I don't do any of that. I don't research nothing. I just show up and CJ does all the research, all that, and I just go. But Yeah, I'm curious. Do y'all do that? Yeah, dude. Like this. You talking about this? Um. Yeah, I mean, if you what I'm talking about as far as like what it as far as the functionality of this site versus the UFC, I just like that. I do like the fact that it matches it up this way, and you can kind of see them side by side, but you still got to click into it. The UFC doesn't do that. I'll agree with that for sure. And from a visual aspect, the UFC one looks a little bit cleaner, but this one is way more informative. Way more informative. Dude, there's no way you just pick a mountain and just go. That's crazy. I told you that's white people activities, dog. We can't. Mm-mm, no, I'm not finna do that. I need more information. That is my last five, but I want it on the first page. I don't want to have to click into it. I want it right there. I want to be able to do this, collapse it, and then go to the next one. Especially in a setting like this. Like if say, you know, like I said earlier, me and Crossover and Frankie are, you know, doing a stream at 3 o'clock this time, so about 2.5 hours. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be looking at stuff. And so if we're going to be looking at multiple fights, it would be a lot easier to be able to, okay, we're going to look at this fight. Okay, cool. Close it. Let's look at the next fight. Give me all this info. I need the last five. You're not giving me the last five. Now I got to click into something I don't really want to click into and then go back. Like, I don't want to do all that. I need it right here. This is the place that I wanted it. But it is way more informative. I won't lie to you there. It's way more informative than the UFC fight. And they stay way more current. The UFC one doesn't get updated enough. And you would think that it would because all they got to do is pay attention to the UFC stuff. This Tapology pays attention to way more things. Y'all gonna build something better than Tapology? I mean, it. My problem with Tapology is really just centered on too many ads. But I know that that's how you make revenue. I get it, but um, yeah, it's really the ads that really bother me, and then some of the functionality and all that. Um, it just ain't that ain't it. You're right. I am lazy. I am. I want to write. I want it right here. I need it right here, not not a couple of clicks in. Do you like JP knows? Like this is what I do for a living. Like I make these things, and so when I see stuff like this, I'm like, dude, don't nobody want to do that. Don't nobody want to do that. Nobody wants to. But it's not I don't think it's a bad site. I think it's better than ShareDog. I think it's better than UFC. ShareDog is they haven't updated their site in forever. It's dated in my opinion. Next MMA, you know what? You said something about that too. Um, I have not looked at that. This is the one, huh? Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. I don't know, Jordan, JP. Have y'all seen Next MMA? Like, tell me what y'all think about this one. How's crossover right here? How'd that happen? This dude's everywhere. Um, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. What do y'all think about this one? Okay. So it does give you a lot of info. Um, see, I can see where they're from, all that good stuff. I got my last five, which of course I wanted. It'd be nice if I could hover over it and they'll tell me what the last five was. Like if I hovered over this and it said Dricus Duplessis, and that'd be nice. But what I could tell you, yes, exactly. The UI is rough. Like this, like that's the part that I don't particularly like. Oh, okay. A great guy who runs it through. Okay, that's dope. Ah, okay. I see. I see. Yeah, got the little belt and everything. That's dope. Can't click into it though. That's okay. That's not bad though. And I like the fact that it matches them up. Like you can see what their last five was comparatively. Um, yeah, this one might be better than Tapology. Dang, I forgot about that too. Forgot all about that one. Um, hmm, interesting. I don't know. I'll start looking at this a little bit more. I think what threw me off initially when I first saw it was these. Like I didn't like this, but yeah, like you said, Leroy, like the no ads part, like they might have got me sold on that part for sure. Okay, so and then the plus and the minus, that's the um favorite and underdog. Yeah, I like this one. I like this one. This is better. Okay. Yeah, ESPN API. Hope that's continues to work for them. Why is nobody talking about this fight? Is it because of his last two losses? Why does nobody care about this fight? Like, do y'all think that this fight is even gonna last all three rounds? I feel like nobody is mentioning this. ESPN is not pushing it, or not ESPN, but UFC isn't pushing it. Like, I would have fully expected to see like ESPN posting Sergey Pavlovich's finishes, like for them to make a video on it. I ain't seen nothing like that. They don't care about that dude at all. Biggie Boy, does he have any finishes in the UFC? Okay, Shamil Gaziev. Well, everybody knocks out. If you're black, you knock out Chris Dawkins. That's just how that goes. I feel like if Crossover fought Chris Dawkins, he gonna knock him out. If I fought Chris Dawkins, I will also knock him out. So that don't count. Augusto Sakai, I mean, I guess he does have some finishes, but they're all against some weird people. JDS when he wasn't really JDS anymore. I don't know, man. But I feel like this fight is kind of under the radar. This fight could be establishing somebody that could be in a title conversation once things start to get figured out with John Jones and Tom Aspinall. You think Biggie Boy's gonna do it? I don't think so. I think he's gonna get knocked out. I think he's gonna get knocked out, and that sucks because I like him, but I think that it's just too much. Sergey, he's upset too because you saw how he was against the when he fought Volkov at the end. Like he was mad that um like Sergey was mad that Volkov even took the fight. So I feel like he didn't even fight like himself. But he gonna fight like himself in this one. And I feel like he's gonna clip that dude first round. So you reckon Rosen is a bad one to come back to after back-to-back losses? I don't think so, man. I actually don't think so. I could be totally wrong, and I could be like underselling what Rosenstruck can do, but I think that Pavlovich knocks him out. That that will definitely be my pick when we send the picks in. 100%. I don't know about that one. Hey, what do y'all think about Terrence McKinney? So he got so if whomever doesn't know, he had a baby recently and he posted the baby and him cutting the umbilical cord. Um, I don't love it. Don't love it. Don't love that. I feel like I know that you're like an athlete and you're in the public eye and all that stuff, and that's cool, but I don't I don't think you should be posting that, man. You got to keep some stuff to yourself. He said nobody but you backed Biggie Boy against Gaziev. Oh, well, I can't even remember where I fell on that fight. I thought it was a little bit closer. Um, I Biggie Boy does have hands, to your point, Leroy, for sure, but he doesn't have the explosive power that I thought that he would have. Being, a kickboxer and coming over, and that's kind of his forte. He's more of a technician, and which is good. But if you're fighting somebody who's fighting with power, you might not get a chance to use any of your technical skills. And that's where I feel like he gets into situations. And his takedown defense ain't worth a damn. It ain't. Um, yeah, I haven't made my picks. I know we need to send them in rather soon or whatnot, but I have not made my picks for this card. Um, but I will give you that one. I am for sure picking Pavlovich, 100%. But yeah, um, Terrence McKinney, man, let me see. He either knocks somebody out or gets knocked out or submitted. Dude, look at that. So he's got knockout, 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 submission, knockout, submission, knockout, submission, knockout, knockout. Dude, Terrence McKinney, he's exciting. I'll say that. But he's weird, man. He's a weird dude. Dude, Sergey is not going to take him. He's not going to take him down. You're right about that. He can if he wants to. I mean, he has that in his bag. I don't think he's going to have to. I really don't, man. I think that he's going to touch him and Biggie Boy's going to go down. I can't see it any other way. You think Terrence gets this done? I don't know, man. I really don't. It's hard to even bet for or against Terrence McKinney. It really is. He's fighting Demir Hadzovic. Hadzovic? Hadzovic. Yeah. I I think it'll be a finish one way or the other. Whether he wins or whether he loses, it's definitely gonna be a finish. That's for sure. Hey, let me see who we have on here. Yeah, we got a few people over on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, definitely come over to the YouTube area. And when you do so, make sure you subscribe to Rambling Dad podcast and also the Fight Week show. Um, and if you like playing games, definitely jump on Silky Pajamas. Um, it's a fun game. It's something that was recently released. My boy JP that's in the chat is one of the people that got it off the ground. Make sure you and I'll put it in the notes down below as well at some point. But make sure y'all do that as well. It's a fun game, man. I had a good time doing it or playing it. I didn't do so well because my one of the picks that I had um, didn't fight. So I had Benil Dariush, who was supposed to fight, and y'all know what happened there. And my goofy ass didn't go back on there and change it, and so I lost out, and that reflects on my points. But it's a fun game, man. I like it. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all do that for sure, for sure. But yeah, T Rex is either gonna win or lose impressively, and I don't know which one I'm gonna pick. I really don't. So Saeed Nurmagomedov, man. So I was all in on Saeed Nurmagomedov when he popped up in the UFC, not because of his last name. I'm not Ola or Crossover, who their last name should be Nurmagomedov. But I do respect their game. Um, and Saeed came in, and he's a different kind of fighter. He kind of reminded me of Zabit a little bit. Uh, oh, what's up, Crossover? I was just talking about you. So um, I respect what he does and how he fought, and I feel like that loss that he had against Jonathan Martinez really, really messed up the little hype train here. You see, he had a little run going on, and it messed up the hype train. So he got it back, beating Muin Gafarov, old beard back. So hopefully, hopefully, um, this gets him going, man. I'm a big fan of Saeed. Vinicius Oliveira, he's got a 4-fight winning streak too. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know if he can beat Saeed. I think Saeed's going to piece him up. I think he's going to piece him up. Dude, Olin, you're right. Olin Nurmagomedov, and that's another channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to Crossover. Make sure y'all subscribe to MMA Anomaly. Um, Jay Nurmagomedov. No, that's it. But yeah, make sure y'all jump over and subscribe to those dudes too. But yeah, y'all missed it, man. I'm out here giving my pick information away. I shouldn't be doing that, but um, it don't matter. It's early in the year. Y'all gonna fuck it up as things go. But Saeed, man, I'm just a big fan of Saeed. I like the way he fights. I really do. And I'm gonna pick him in this fight. I think I am. Change my mind. Appreciate that, Olin. Hey man, Olin, who was I talking to? Oh, dude, I was talking to Sterling about you yesterday. And we were talking about how you and Crossover met up, and I saw some of the stuff that you were posting on social media, and every time I feel like I saw it, you had a drink in your hand, and every time I see you, you have a drink in your hand. And I was like, man, if I'm ever around Olin, I'm not drinking with that dude, man. No, he's got way too much practice. I'm fairly sure he's got some Irish in his blood. I'm not drinking with him. No, he's not gonna do that to me. You're not gonna do that to me. I'll take a shot or two, and then I'm out. That's it. I can't do it. I'm out of practice, bro. I'm out of practice. But yeah, no, shout out to MMA Anomaly. Um, Y'all do some dope stuff over there for sure. Y'all's lives and the soundboard really get it going. Matter of fact, Olin, I need to have you on probably next week if you can, man, for sure. Um, and of course, Jordan, me and you got to coordinate schedules to have you on also. But yeah, dude. Um, back to Saeed. Who said that? Leroy, you said you're taking Cowboy. You know what, Leroy? Like you kind of sneak out, with your picks. Like we don't see your picks on there to critique you like the rest of us get critiqued on our picks. So we need to see your picks reported in all the stats with the rest of us. You said I bitched out before I got to, bruh. I'm not. That's not bitching out. That's setting expectations. That's what that is. Now, if we talking about smoking, different conversation. Totally different conversation. But if we talking about drinking, dude, I seen what he been drinking. You start a car with that shit. No, no, I'm not doing that. My insides ain't set up for that. Said these Americans thinking, dude. I've seen some European people put some shit away. So I ain't doubting what y'all could do at all. Ain't down that. Yes, yes, Leroy. You do pick the winners after the event. You smoke all day? Okay, see, like you've got some vices, sir. Ain't nobody, dude, ain't nobody drinking with Olin. I don't know. Frankie can drink too. Frankie maybe. But I don't know anybody that I've seen that could probably drink with Olin. I can't see it. He's I don't know, man. He might be the Habib of drinking. I'm not sure, man. So yeah, man. I'm about to jump off of here, man, because I actually have to do this weird thing called work. But I think this might be a good time to jump on streams. Hopefully next time get more people up in this joint. But I appreciate y'all jumping in here for sure. If y'all ever any one of y'all, if y'all ever want to jump on at around this time on Wednesdays, just let me know. Cause yeah, it's a decent little time to jump on when a lot of people aren't streaming. So yeah, like I said, me and Crossover and Frankie are doing the stream at 3 o'clock, so in about 2 hours. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff leading into the card, other topic based stuff. So that should be fun as well. But I will highlight y'all in about 2 hours. Until then, man, stay hydrated.